In the bustling arena of the Second Academy in Lijiang City, the year 2624 was marked by a significant event, the awakening ceremony of the class. The students, full of hope, gathered as headmaster Luo Hong took the stage to give important instructions for the ceremony. Luo Hong, a figure of authority at the Second Academy, spoke to the eagerness of the crowd. The first awakening is an important moment that shapes your future. Think carefully before you change classes right away. Combat classes like summoners and engineers require significant resources, which can be difficult for ordinary individuals who can afford it. The noises of excitement of the students, filled with determination, roared around. A student exclaimed, voicing his aspirations, wanting to become a berserker, to become a monster-killing machine. A girl expressed another dream. He wants to be a pharmacist. Everyone has their own desire for what they want in their awakening. And those who want a weak awakening are the individuals who fear fighting. Everyone wants to achieve their desired awakening. Many years ago, a virtual reality game named Eternal appeared in the world. A new experience and intense euphoria from killing allows people to lose themselves within the game. More and more people entered the Eternal. And one day, the surface world expanded thousands of times and a large number of secret realm maps appeared, and countless monsters and other races emerged. Where the Eternal game merges with the real world. Everyone can now level up and change their classes to increase their power and fight monsters. And in this world, our main protagonist transmigrated into this world a year ago. And his name is Joey. Joey was among these students standing and queuing for their chance to get their awakening. He also wanted to finish this ceremony to fight the challenges of his life. Because he had just arrived in this world, and before he could understand the question, his mother passed away. And his sister Joeyon was suddenly affected by a strange disease that ordinary doctors could not cure. He could barely sustain her life with just the help of a low-level healer. In order to save his sister, he sold his house and asked his relatives for money so that his sister could live. But this is only a temporary remedy. If the cause of his illness is not found, Joeyon cannot be removed from the brink of death. All of these things run through Joey's mind because his sister's medical payments are increasing every day, and the source of the income he got from part-time is not enough to pay the necessary medical bills. To overcome all these problems, Joey needs to take a combat class. Through the combat class he will be able to save money and send his sister Joeyon to a higher level healer. Then came a level 24 mage that would begin this ceremony. Before starting the ceremony, he told everyone the awakening ceremony was about to begin. He wanted the students who called their numbers to stand in the magic formation one by one. Then without any delay the mage began a magic formation with his wand. Once the formation began, there was a large purple-colored magic circle show covering the entire formation, and the mage continued to use its inheritance on it. When this magic circle opened, there was a lot of pressure there because a very strong wind blew and the students had difficulty standing there. All the students were amazed at the power of the level 24 mage. That recognizes his strength. Joey also recognized the skill of the mage. If one consideration is the mage's income from hosting class awakening ceremonies, it's likely to be in 6 figures. Among them stood Li Xiangyang, the 5th class of homeroom teacher, who immediately called the first student, Zheng Cheng, for the ceremony. As Zheng Cheng entered the magic circle upon hearing his name, all eyes were focused on the awakening ceremony. Understands its most important importance in life. Joey observes with intense focus, knowing that his future depends on his own awakening. Success means he can support his sister and himself. Failure means uncertainty. In a world full of monsters, combat classes have the highest respect, while classes of livelihoods have the lowest positions. Historical data suggested that about half of students could be woken up in the combat class. One by one the students entered the magic formation, the other succeeded while the others faced disappointment in their awakening. 3 types of magical cards are displayed in the magic circle. The pharmacist, enchanter, and decomposer were written. What appears here depends on the appropriate awakening of an individual. It changes according to each individual. As this happens, many students are called by their numbers. And finally, our main character Joey is called. At number 31, we learn that Joey is the representative of the class and everyone starts cheering for him. It is known that because his stats are good, he should be able to take a good class for him. But Joey knows that academic performance and stats are not standard factors for class awakening. Joey walked towards the magic formation circle with a determined look. Meanwhile, 6th class homeroom teacher Tang Tianjun asked Li Xiangyang about the number of students in his class who were able to take a combat class. The teacher replied that there were 16 individuals who did it. The 6th class homeroom teacher started bragging in front of Li Xiangyang, who told him that his class had 21 students who had taken a combat class, and there was a rare class, which immediately filled the quota for the annual exam in beautiful universities. The teacher gets frustrated with all this bragging, but he can't do anything even if he wants to. Suddenly, all of the students and teachers suddenly had their eyes fixed on Joey. Since she doesn't move an inch, as the scene changes, we see Joey's necklace flying through the air, reacting to something and releasing a faint aura. Even Joey was surprised by the strange movement of this necklace. Golden energy began to splash from the necklace, causing a huge gust of wind around Joey, leaving him confused, not knowing what was going on with him. Suddenly notifications started popping up in front of his eyes, telling him that system energy had been detected, and the system had been activated. This unusual thing surprised Joey. The strongest class support system was activated, and the rookie starter gift was given to him. The Sacred Angel's S+ grade talent of protection was given to him. Joey couldn't believe what he was seeing, so he rubbed his eyes to see if it was a dream or not. But it's not a dream, the system notification still appears in front of him. He also checks the system. And then he remembers this necklace that he bought from a street stall in his past life, which was moved with him to this world after his death. This necklace was with him after transmigration, which he thought was a treasure, but after several trials, he got nothing, so he gave up on it. However, he has now activated a system that gave Joey a big gift. This gift came at the perfect time. Joey looked at messages in the system where he saw that he had received the protection of a sacred angel at the S+ level. Joey's association with light types is greatly increased. All light type and divine type skills will have an enhanced effect. In this world, talents are graded from F to S grades. The higher the grade, the better the effect. Most importantly, the 3 classes that appear in Class Awakening have a great connection to the talents possessed. Meanwhile, outside the magic circle, Joey's class teacher was watching carefully because Joey hadn't moved for a long time. There was a trace of concern on his face. The students standing outside also started talking. What is Joey doing? Why is he staring at the wind? Could it be that he was not able to take any class? This seems very impossible because nothing like that has happened in centuries. Then suddenly the cloud burst and the golden light came out of it and fell directly on Joey standing in a magical circle. Seeing this, all the students were scared because the environment of the whole place had changed. Seeing such an incident, the headmaster said it was a phenomenon in Class Awakening. The mage standing next to him says his opinion, this is a talent awakening phenomenon. An angel came out from the golden light standing in the air right in front of Joey. Joey kept looking at him because he was not in a position to say anything. The students standing below were also silent because an angel came out of the awakening. The angel emits golden light from within him, his eyes are closed, it seems that all divine energy has been generated from it. That angel, after looking at Joey for some time, began to come to him and on his way, he said with a smile, the light is your belief and the source of your power. Under the support of belief, the sacred light will always protect you and burn all evil, and I will always protect you by your side. At that moment, the angel entered Joey's body when he approached him, because there Joey's forehead showed a golden symbol of divinity, and a symbol of divinity was also shown in his eyes. As this happens, a bright golden light forms around Joey. Golden light comes from his eyes and his whole body. He seemed to be screaming in pain. Although it didn't last long, the forms of the three spiritual bodies suddenly opened before him. Students observe it from afar. Much to their surprise, someone held their head after seeing this talent. Very lucky to get new talent at the class awakening ceremony. So someone asked if the protection of this sacred angel was Joey's new talent. Everyone says differently, what kind is this, because they have never seen such a class. A student then asked Li Xianyang, Master Li, what are the logos of these three classes? The students asked Li Xianyang several times. Li Xianyang became serious and said these three classes were hidden classes. Here at the magic circle, Joey looks at the logos of its three classes. One is Mage of Light, second is Sacred Priest, and third is Saint Knight. Joey had to choose one of these three. Mage of Light is a pure DPS class. Although they boast strong DPS, they don't have the skills to protect themselves. With so many foreign races disappearing, they can easily be attacked and die. Priests have many life-saving abilities and possess an unparalleled ability of resurrection. But their fighting skills are too weak and they depend too much on others. Where Joey thought it was a class that wasn't right for him. Saint Knight is an all-encompassing class with a full skill set, capable of defense, offense, and buffs. Although it is not good in any field, Joey has a talent that can relate to the light from what the angel has given. Where Joey realized that Saint Knight was the perfect class for him. So without delay he chose Saint Knight because it suits him. After the selection of Saint Knight, the remaining two logos automatically disappear from there. The remaining Saint Knight stood in front of Joey. And he began to show off with his hammer-like weapon and said his oath. Humility, honesty, courage, empathy, responsibility, do immorality, pursue hostess, and reason for your life, this is a Saint Knight. After saying the words of his oath, the Saint Knight fell silent. Joey was looking at him calmly when suddenly a golden light came out from behind him and Joey changed form and Saint Knight enveloped him. By this time, the wing from behind Saint Knight had emerged in which it fully displayed the perfect form of a Saint Knight. Meanwhile, the system notification also arrived. Congratulations on awakening the Saint Knight class. Then at the top, it's at level 10, there are skills received. Blade of the Pure White, slow regeneration, weapon blessing, and 10 extra unassigned points were received. As soon as Joey appeared in the magic circle formation, he was surrounded by academy students. Everyone starts saying their things to Joey. They all congratulated Joey on his good performance. Others are asking Joey for help because of the upcoming exam and he wants to have a backup, and others want to join Joey to form their party. Meanwhile, the teacher interrupted them all and went there and asked everyone to leave. This time the teacher's eyes sparkled as if he wanted something. Then he congratulated Joey with a greedy face on his good performance and that he should go home and rest. But he asked to go to the headmaster's office tomorrow. Seeing this ugly face of the teacher, Joey thought in his mind that his teacher's face was scary. At home, Joey can be seen sitting in his room looking at his stats where the system shows his stat points. Name, Joey, Strength 20, Constitution 18, Agility 17, Intelligence 15, and Class Saint 9. After awakening, Joey's stats not only increased but he also got some non-assigned stat points. Looking at his stats points, Joey thought of adding them because he had some points. So the first option is to increase his strength, the second is constitution and the rest of the other stats. After gaining new strength and power, he can easily defeat the monsters. Joey quickly used 6 points in strength, 2 points in the constitution, 1 point in agility and 1 point in intelligence. As Joey's stats rise, energy begins to emerge from his body like the vapor of golden light. Feeling that Joey was saying, he could feel the energy boiling inside his body. This is the change brought by the stat points. It feels so good. Using stat points for the first time, Joey receives a system notification that he has activated the Saint Knight mission, or he has activated the daily mission, Saint Knight's Level 1 challenge. 2 of the following rewards can be selected by completing the daily mission for the first time. In the first prize, receive 10 extra stat points. Second prize, receive Saint Knight's skills. Third prize, receive a random equipment of Saint Knight. There was also an option to accept and reject it. He could choose any of them. Seeing this mission, Joey was very curious because from such a mission he would get a very high reward and he could not stand out from such good options, so he chose the accept button. Once Joey selects the accept button, the mission automatically adjusts according to the power level, and continuous system notifications arrive. After a while, the system finished building the mission for Joey. It kills a grade A ancient rabbi monster. And from his room, Joey's laughter was sucked into the new dimension. The system has issued a notification that this trial will be treated seriously. Death in the trial will result in death in real life. Joey was slightly surprised after going through this process, and after some time he ended up in a dark mine. Similar to those taught in the classes that ancient rabbi monsters lived mainly in the mines. Although they are not carnivores, they become violent and blood-seeking like other monsters when they encounter humans. It hadn't been long since Joey came to mind that the ancient rabbi monsters suddenly started coming in a fast move to attack Joey from behind. The ancient rabbi monster had low intelligence. Their method of attack was a roar of rage and its claws were sharp enough to cut the rocks. Joey saw the monster coming from behind him. It attacks Joey with its claws, but Joey easily escapes from its attack. The attack with the claw of the rabbi monster destroyed the ground there. Joey escapes the attack of the rabbi monster and leaves, away from the monster. Joey thinks he can fight the monster for the first time, so he will kill this rabbi monster without using any skill. As soon as that monster came to attack Joey again, he kicked his head and knocked him to the ground and again made a distance from the monster. Seeing his new own strength, Joey thinks his body is more agile and his jump height is also stronger because of his increased stats. However, seeing his attacks repeatedly ignored, the monster became very angry and he rushed at Joey and began attacking him. But Joey avoided every attack and said, "You are so slow, I see your attack from afar." Behind them, the monster attacks Joey with his tail going straight into Joey's stomach. Because of this attack, blood began to come out of Joey's stomach. He quickly tried to heal himself. Then, he used slow regeneration level 1 grade C for 30 seconds, recovering a certain health points of up to 2 colleagues in a given range. Joey said while recuperating on his own, he was careless no matter how much he trained in academia, it was still different to fight real monsters. Even if it's a low-grade monster, he shouldn't ignore them. To exterminate this monster, Joey used a blade of the pure white that hit the monster directly. He is testing every new skill he has in this fight. Whenever the monster is attacked by a new skill, a notification also appears from the system. Blade of the pure white level 1 grade C, which will unleash a cross-shaped slash to attack enemies around you. Enemies that are hit will be frozen by light-type magic. Tiger Pounce level 4 grade 0, which causes multiple stages of damage to enemies that bump into you while running. Joey had attacked the monster so many times that he didn't even have a chance to control it, and with one blow he knocked it to the ground. At this moment, the monster is lying on the ground and our hero is thinking of ending it. A golden light formed in both of his hands, with Joey beginning the attack on the monster and ending it briefly. Notification reappears after monster dies. You kill the ancient Robbie monster and the test is over and Joey gets the score A from it. As the system continues, the selection of rewards has appeared. With the first reward, you will receive 10 extra stat points. In the second prize, receive Saint Knight skills. Third prize, receive a random equipment of Saint Knight. Joey is surrounded by thoughts about reward, because stat points and skill points are the foundation of a class's strength. But this time, he was in no rush to raise his skill level. So additional stat points are the best option. A usable weapon will also be a big help for upcoming tests. Fortunately, Joey is rewarded with a weapon system. Otherwise, he won't be able to buy one because of his current money. He chose the stat point and used it randomly. From the random equipment taken by Joey is the basic one-handed sword. As soon as the mission was over, the atmosphere there changed and he returned to his room again. After everything was normal, he looked at his mobile where it was written that he should go to the hospital. Meanwhile at the hospital, Jo-yee's sister, Jo-yoon, watches TV at the hospital where the news airs. From the news, where a student triggers the phenomena of a sacred angel that descends into class awakening. According to Intel, the said student was able to acquire a talent before getting his class awakening and continued to choose a hidden class Saint Knight. This is the first hidden class to leave the city in the last 50 years. Suddenly the nurse came and turned off the TV. Jo-yoon saw the nurse and greeted him. But the nurse angrily showed him the bill and spoke with an ugly face. It's time for his medical bills, which are 10,000. Jo-yoon took the bill from the nurse and looked at the bill. He was worried after looking at the bill. Since this bill is too expensive, it should be less than 10,000 instead. He asked the nurse if there were any mistakes because even after working 3 jobs, Joey was only making 5,000 a month and he could not pay such a large medical fee. Seeing that Jo-yoon did not believe, the nurse got angry and yelled at Jo-yoon. The nurse insisted she used a lot of medicine this month, along with suppressants and stabilizers, and even called a priest here. His illness came out 3 times in between, causing each nurse to care for him in the middle of the night. For a young lady to say these words, the nurse encouraged her to talk to the hospital herself if she had a problem with her bill. Jo-yoon apologized for their misunderstanding. But the nurse continued to yell at him. He has already told Jo-yoon not to get struck by the rich sickness if Jo-yoon don't have the money. The poor should just accept their fate. Don't insist if you can't afford it. Then, suddenly someone came over there and put his hands on the nurse's shoulders and told the nurse that he heard her insults to the patients. Because of the sharpness of his tongue, he asked if he could speak inside the director's office. Looking at them, the nurse thinks that these people do not look kind. However, as the nurse left there, it warned Jo-yoon he had to pay the medical fees today. Jo-yoon was also confused after seeing them all and asked who they all were. He was also a little worried that these people might come to charge him the bills. After listening to Jo-yoon, the man bowed in a very normal way and took his card and told him, "Maybe you are Miss Jo-yoon, he is his older brother's friend." Joey quickly arrived at the hospital where his sister was admitted. While entering the room, Joey held the medical bill. It was seen where he told Jo-yoon that he only went to pay the bills, and the hospital system showed that they had 10,000 yuan in their account that they had to pay. He didn't know why it was this big, and asked his sister if he knew what was going on. Jo-yoon was happy after seeing his brother. At this time, the 2 men who met Jo-yoon were playing with her. They both turned and looked at Joey. Looking at the 2 of them, Joey asked while being confused as to who they were. Seeing Joey, one of them stood up and approached Joey and introduced himself. He is Jaewon Bing, he is the mayor's secretary, and he wants to talk about some things with him. Jaewon Bing moved his hand forward to shake Joey's hand. Seeing that secretary, Joey was left wondering, because the mayor was the most powerful man in the city of Gyeongli City, and sometimes his secretary could represent the mayor himself. Joey thinks to himself why someone like him is looking for him. Joey shook his hand and said while shaking hands, the patient's room was not suitable for conversation, and asked the secretary to go elsewhere. The secretary heard this and agreed to it. Our protagonist and Zhao and Bing start leaving the room for their further conversation. While going out, Zhao and Bing told a man to stay here to accompany Ms. Zhou Yun, because he will go out with Mr. Zhou Yi for a moment. Hearing this, a man said yes. Zhou Yun happily plays with a man. Little did he know that his brother had achieved a hidden class. The news he was watching earlier was about his brother. Zhou Yi and the secretary went out of the hospital and went to a cafe. People are already talking about Zhou Yi at coffee. A woman sitting at a cafe told her friends in the group about the news. Where a hidden class from the second academy appears, when his friends hear it, they are asked who it is. The woman then showed the picture of Zhou Yi to her friends. If he is not mistaken, I think Zhou Yi is the name of this individual. This is the picture that leaked from their school. These women were impressed because of Zhou Yi's handsome appearance. Zhou Yi and the secretary are in the other corner of this cafe. They are also ready to talk. The secretary congratulates Zhou Yi on receiving Sacred Angel's S-grade talent protection and the waiver of the Saint Knight class. Zhou Yi was happy to hear and insisted that he was just lucky. Then, Zhao and Bing continued his speech while smiling. Receiving S-grade talent in a regular class awakening ceremony isn't just something that can be achieved through luck. After that, Zhao and Bing showed the key to the city bank vault in front of Zhou Yi. He placed the special key in front of Zhou Yi because the mayor was interested in Zhou Yi's hidden class and specifically told the media not to disturb him. He also arranged stocks of cultivation resources for Zhou Yi to prepare for the upcoming exam. The aforementioned cultivation resources are inside the city bank vault and are the only key to open it. If Zhou Yi uses the resources from the city bank vault, he can boost himself quickly. As Zhao and Bing explained everything in front of Zhou Yi, he asked him if he had any other requests. Seeing an important key, some thoughts began to play in Zhou Yi's mind. The mayor seems to believe that he can be a strong force and there is nothing wrong with trusting him. Although Zhou Yi knows that there is no free party, the mayor probably hopes that he will pay for it one day. Seeing Zhou Yi's thoughts, Zhao and Bing made his last point about his sister. He said that from now on there is a professional medical team that will serve Ms. Zhou Yun every time. In addition, the mayor contacted a level 36 second grade priest to go to Jiangli City and heal Ms. Zhou Yun. This point by Zhao and Bing gave Zhou Yi a great opportunity to accept the offer. And this is an offer that Zhou Yi cannot refuse because he wants everyone to take care of and protect his sister. Zhou Yi quickly took the key from his hand and said he accepted this offer. As soon as Zhou Yi accepted the offer, Zhao and Bing also thanked and assured Zhou Yi that he did not make a mistake in his decision. After getting the S-grade talent, more opportunities await Zhou Yi, but he accepts the first time that comes because his strength is with him and his sister's recovery is also there, which he cannot refuse. After that, the story moves to the hospital where Zhou Yi informs his sister about it. Hearing this good news, an immeasurable expression appeared on Zhou Yun's face. He excitedly told his brother that his climb to the top was certain, and if he could hold on to his older brother like an ornament. Zhou Yun became mean to Zhou Yi while pushing him away. Zhou Yi replied that he should stop his antics. And instead it was on his healing, but that Zhou Yun remained stubborn, carved his brother what his exclusive skill was, because each class had its own abilities. As they talk about his abilities, his mind is enveloped in his exclusive skills. Saint Knight's 3 exclusive companions after his class awakening were Blade of Pure White for attack, Slow Recovery for healing, and Weapon Blessing for support. He tried Slow Recovery on his sister. Zhou Yi started using Slow Recovery on Zhou Yun. Because of this, golden light began to emerge from Zhou Yun's body. Slow Recovery began to work on his weak body. Because of this, Zhou Yun feels so good it's like he's receiving a massage all over his body from a hot spring. After using Slow Recovery, Zhou Yi asked Zhou Yun if he was feeling better. Jo Yun was very happy when he felt the change in his body because the pains had disappeared by this time, and his hands and feet were moving smoothly. In addition to strength, one of the reasons Jo-yi chose Saint Knight was because of Jo Yun's illness. Since Saint Knight is a support class, it cannot heal Jo Yun, but somehow it will reduce the pain he feels. Jo-yi was happy to see the happiness on his sister's face because he was only doing this for his remaining family sister. The next day, Jo-yi went somewhere in his academy with his headmaster. The headmaster told him as they walked, several dozen universities called him yesterday to recruit him. And his phone almost exploded with so much of it. It includes 4 teachers from the top 10 universities. His headmaster advised him to do everything to get the best offers with the most resources. All these teachers are secondary class awakenings and their levels are over 35. If they can recruit him, Jo-yi will get the best training in the future. Then, Jo-yi asked the headmaster which universities they were. These are Rongyang University, Chuannan University, Anji University, and Hangchang University. After that, Jo-yi asked again if they had no offer from the top 3 universities to them. The headmaster told Jo-yi that the top 3 universities are always recruiting based on test results. They don't look at talent and class, nor do they have special admissions. While talking, the two of them reached the room where the teachers from the 4 universities were staying. The two of them were standing outside the door, but inside the room there was a conflict between people from 4 universities over who would take Jo-yi to their university. While outside the room, they heard the argument from inside. One asked old Zhao, because Chuan district is 4,000 kilometers away from the city of Jianli City. Did he use a fighter jet to come here? He replied, he did not use a fighter jet but a super long-distance teleportation array. Super long-distance teleportation uses level 30 magic core for each use, and questions its use. Zhao defended it again. He was willing to spend anything for a genius, and he told everyone that Zhao-yi would be acquired by Chuannan University. The headmaster opened the door of the room and told all the recruitment teachers that Zhao-yi was here to see them all. After that, Luo Hang introduced all the teachers to Zhao-yi. Mr. Zhou Tianfu from Rongyang University, Mr. Li Bing from Chuannan University, Ms. Zhu Yu from Hanchang University, and Mr. Yu Yuan from Anji University. After hearing their names, Jo-yi bowed in respect and said he was happy to meet them all. All the recruiting teachers standing there were delighted with Jo-yi's good manners, that even though he had a hidden class, there was no bragging from this youth, and he seemed kind. However, Mr. Zhou Tianfu from Rongyang University that he will not waver any longer. He will explain the offer of Rongyang University. Zhou Tianfu offers Jo-yi 2 million yuan and 3 exclusive skill books of Saint Knight if he enters their university. Zhou Tianfu's offer was so good that Jo-yi was forced to think. He thought to himself, a regular family's monthly income is only 6,000 yuan and Rongyang University offers 2 million yuan of a crash. And excellent skill books of Saint Knight that ordinary people cannot achieve, even if the mayor has not given him this kind of offer. However, Mr. Li Bing from Chuannan University to laugh at Zhou Tianfu for his offer and gave Zhao-yi a better offer than Zhou Tianfu. Chuannan University offers 3 million yuan admission, 3 Saint Knight skill books per year, and has a level 56 tertiary awakened Knight class instructor to teach him. This offer by Li Bing was better than Zhou Tianfu's offer, which forced Jo-yi as well as his headmaster to think. Since level 56 is an individual who seems to be at the top of the planet, his discipleship will bring unparalleled benefits. They were both in deep thought when Zhu Yu also put his offer to the university in front of them. Hanchang University does not hold much admission funds, but they have allocated 2 million to it. But if Jo-yi enters the university, he will immediately be given a B-class cultivation resource. When mentioning the name of the B-class cultivation resource, the headmaster immediately looked at Jo-yi and asked him to say yes because the money could not match the value of B-class cultivation resources. With all those resources, even pigs can be trained for the strongest battles. All recruitment teachers were looking forward to learning of Joey's decision after the offer was given, but Joey declined all special admissions offered to him. His headmaster standing next to him seemed to be mad after hearing his decision. Juyu was so angry that he angrily asked why and what was the reason. Joey told him he wanted to get into the top 3 universities. Among the top 10 universities, the top 3 are Sukong University, Qingjing University, and Mudu University. They are generally hailed as the top 3 universities in the country. They only recruit 1,000 students each year, and their recruitment is not limited to people. Elves, giants, and other races can also enter. Other races are inherently stronger than humans, in addition to the country's countless elites. Getting into the top 3 universities is just as difficult as going to heaven. Hearing this from Joey, Zhou Tianfu began to laugh out loud and then he said angrily. He thought Joey was a good boy, but he was just an ignorant kid. He had read Joey's profile, and he was missing too much for the first 18 years and lacked the resources to fill them. Besides that, he is weak and his stats are low. Not only is it difficult for Joey to enter the top 3 universities with his current strength, but even if he gets in, he's definitely in the last place, no focused training. And this will be his only life. While saying this, Zhu Tianfu also gives Joey his inner chi. The pressure of his power was too much for Joey and faced problems with standing up. If he had gotten this pressure yesterday, he must have been on his knees at this moment. Thanks to his new strength in his daily mission, he can now fight this pressure. Luo Hang immediately approached in front of Joey and also let out his chi while angrily telling Zhou Tianfu what he was doing. He asked if he wanted to bully his students inside the school. The strong strength of these two is fighting and has no intention of showing their weakness. Zhu Yu, standing afar off, observes all events. He saw Joey remain standing in front of Zhou Tianfu's aura for a long time. So he understood that there was something different about this boy. After this, Zhou Tianfu stopped his aura and began to leave, with all the teachers there, and began to express their grievances. Student recruitment is not only looking for potential but also attitude. In this aspect, he will be in vain even if it is recruited. And in such an event, Zhou Tianfu left first and said goodbye to Headmaster Luo. A recruitment officer also left. He did not extend his stay because Joey had very high ambitions. Seeing them all leave, Headmaster Luo stopped them and demanded that this boy be given another chance. As Jiyu leaves, he also approaches Joey and says that he is strong. But what Mr. Zhao said is still true. There are countless elites in the country and other races are inherently stronger than humans. Admission to the top 3 universities is very rare. Joey answered with confidence, he will show his strength in the test result because there is still a month before the exam. Confident that he can lift his strength to a terrifying level with the help of his system. For Joey, he will definitely enter one of the top 3 universities. Jiyu thought after listening to Joey, it had been a long time since he had seen such strong and determined eyes. It was as if he had returned to the days of fighting in the face of danger. He remained in a peaceful place, his mind seeking reassurance. He left there and left the last word to Joey, saying he was waiting for the results and they would meet again. After a month, the course of the story changed. The exam is about to begin and the examiner for the students is Demon Yang. Because of his presence, all the students feared that they would not be able to pass the exam. They are concerned because the examiner was the one who made the questions 2 years ago, where their district's average score was a new record low. Some of the students were talking about Joey, and opinions began to exchange about him. Another asked if they had heard the news that Joey had denied special admission. A student doubted the news. They couldn't imagine that even the highest genius in the district wasn't proud to enter the top 3 universities. This is sad for them. His face is thick just because he took a hidden class. A million admission fund, others certainly receive it without hesitation. Suddenly some students looked at Joey, and they noticed a change in him. Joey entered, walking arrogantly, and there was a golden light that flushed from his body. Seeing him, some students said that Joey seems different now, seems stronger and more powerful. Joey approached and stopped in front of the portal gate. He was very serious because he had to finish the exam and enter the top 3 universities. All the students stood in front of the Secret Realm portal and the Secret Realm map opened. It contains all the information about the Secret Realm. Students must take their Secret Realm examinations in the depths of the Dark Forest. Levels to enter are only at levels 10 to 13. It has 3 difficulty levels: easy, hard, and nightmare. In this Secret Realm, 1 to 5 people are needed. Students were also warned before entering. Because of this Secret Realm, there are monsters and minotaurs inside the forest. They are cruel creatures that eat human flesh. Seeing the details of the Secret Realm, all the students panicked. They were worried after seeing the difficulty of this examination, so they started talking to each other. Students fear because these cat monsters possess extraordinary agility, while minotaurs have thick skin. Demon Yang doesn't seem to want the students to live. Due to difficulties, this motivated the students to form their own parties. They were allowed to form a party of up to 5 members, usually only 3 with the most members, but due to difficulties, it was raised to up to 5. Soon the teacher came and shouted at all the students. This instructor warned the students, "Remember to move according to ability. If any danger is felt in the Secret Realm, hurry up to use the return scroll. If these students die on the Secret Realm map, they too will die in real life." So the teacher explained to them that they need to save their lives even if it means failing the examination. After all, the dedicated 30 seconds for the students quickly ran out. And it's time for students to enter the portal. The students formed a line and they entered the portal faster and faster. All students begin teleporting inside the Secret Realm where their exam awaits them. Outside, all these people are looking at the screen where everyone who participated in the examination can be seen here. From here, we can see some students in full details of the name, class, difficulty level, and so on. This screen excites all viewers. The first student we will see is Sun Chang of Class 1, who has a warrior class. He chose the hard difficulty and was alone. The second student is also from Class 1. This is Mu Cheng, who holds an assassin class. It also chose hard difficulty and both alone. On the third screen, 3 students from Class 1 can be seen, but they make up a 3-person party and choose the hard difficulty. These are Long Fei, Kong Su, and Sun Jian. They consist of 2 elemental mages and gunsman classes. And finally, what we are waiting for is our hero, who holds a Saint Knight class from Class 5 and is the only one who chooses Nightmare difficulty while alone. And on the last screen can be seen some fighters of Class 2 named Zhang Wei, Wang Li, Zhao Tianhong, and Yang Erlang. It was a 4-person party and they chose the hard difficulty. They consist of Archer, Fire Mage, Swordsman, and Potion Master class. Students sitting outside are looking into the details of it all. As they expected from those with elite classes, they chose to go solo rather than form a party. Where it comes with benefits, it gets all the experience and gets a higher score in the exam, but the risk of death increases. Only seniors who have elite classes dare to do so. However, a girl suddenly screamed and pointed at Zhou Yi. They also see all the details of Zhou Yi on screen, but this time, glaring eyes can be seen behind him. It was found that, since Zhou Yi chose the most difficult level of difficulty, it was the Nightmare level. So, everyone was surprised because he was alone here and chose the hardest difficulty. In the midst of all these audiences, we see Headmaster Luo Han and Education Director Zhan Tao. The Education Director was looking at the screen to see the students' performance, but what surprised him the most was our hero. Seeing our hero alone at the nightmare level, he looked straight at the headmaster and said with a confused voice, "Why is Joey alone? He is a Saint Night class, or he can be an ace no matter where party he will enter." But why did a support class choose to enter alone? In addition to that, it even chose the hardest difficulty level of Nightmare that has a 40% death rate. The headmaster was sweating profusely, unable to determine the cause of the action taken by Zhou Yi. In front of the director, he could not release any reason against the angry director. The director of education was very nervous and suddenly became serious, as the city council provided many resources for Zhou Yi this month to give him a chance to get a good result. If he dies inside the map, the entire public opinion of the Lijiang city government will be hit hard. The move taken by Zhou Yi meant that he was ignoring government support. Thinking about this, the director of education was furious, but tried to calm him down with the headmaster sitting next to him. It told him not to worry, Zhou Yi was not yet a hasty man, perhaps he had his own hidden strength. Here inside the map, there is a lot of bloodthirsty and glaring eyes. All of them were staring at Zhou Yi, and they were carefully hidden behind the darkness of this forest. Zhou Yi knows this, he feels the hundreds of monsters that surround him. There was no fear in Zhou Yi's eyes after feeling so many monsters from nightmare difficulty. In preparation for the upcoming battle, Zhou Yi drew his weapon from his inventory space. A golden light enveloped him as a weapon was pulled from his inventory space. The confidence shown by our hero is the result of a month of training to enter his desired top 3 university. However, at that moment, a monster cat rushed at full speed to attack Zhou Yi. When we saw him, our hero was ready. His weapon is a bronze level 2-star single-bladed axe. It's a two-handed weapon that provides an extra 7 in strength, but both reduce user agility. Using this weapon, Zhou Yi effortlessly ended the cat's life. With the force of his attack, even the ground was destroyed by the force of the impact of his weapon. Blood from the monster was scattered with the force of his attack. But he wanted to go to the best university, so he had to do more than that. Meanwhile, we can see some stats of Zhou Yi where his strength is 45, the constitution is 51, the agility is 43, and there are 52 in intelligence. In a month, he is only level 10, but the average stat points have reached an outrageous 47, equivalent to a level 13. He thinks that even in the entire Sukang district, he can enter the top rank. As Zhou Yi is engrossed in thought, a few monsters can be seen in the background just watching from afar. Since these monsters had no intention of rushing, he chose to attack them instead. While wrapped in a golden aura, he quickly rushed to the said monsters. Using his grade C level 4 weapon blessing skills, it increased the damage and accuracy of his weapon. Even his weapon is now wrapped in a sacred aura from his weapon blessing. And because of his S-grade talent of Sacred Angel, it strengthened his weapon even more after being blessed with a sacred buff. With a gust of his weapon, it easily defeats a monster, and quickly follows his attack towards the remaining monsters. Because of his S-grade talent from Angel, his Saint Knight exclusive skill was strengthened and the strength it gives increased by 21 points. Zhou Yi thought that having this buff was really enviable because of the strength it provided. Because the university exam limits the level of weapons down to 3-star bronze, but the axe in Zhou Yi's hand has the same effect as the 5-star bronze after his buff. Each stats is enough to provide distance between Zhou Yi and the other fighters within the exam. Seeing their companions being killed one by one, several monsters attacked Zhou Yi at the same time. But Zhou Yi immediately released the Blade of Pure White skill and finished them all in just a few seconds. Blade of Pure White is at level 5 in grade C. The spectators were amazed as they watched Zhou Yi, praising Zhou Yi's good use of his skill Blade of Pure White used just in time, just before he was hit by attacks from monsters. Zhou Yi seems to have become a demon in front of these monsters. Zhou Yi took a broken monster hand, and from his hands formed a golden lightning bolt enveloping the monster's hand. It was explained that his Blade of Pure White was leveled up to level 5. so it was given very strong light elemental damage. Under his S-grade talent buff, Joey easily kills all low-level monsters. In his grip, Joey used it as a spear and threw it in the direction of the remaining monster in front of him. Joey killed the remaining monster directly when the spear he threw hit its body. This lightning attack proves the strength that Joey possesses. The onlookers sitting outside were screaming with joy after seeing our hero's performance. One by one they shouted their tributes to Joey. Some students were asked if Joey put his stat points to his strength, in accordance with the strength shown by our hero. But, for his teacher, this is not the case. Upon thorough analysis, the speed shown by Joey is even faster than Cat's, and these monsters are known for their running prowess. Moreover, Joey's speed of use of his skill is also very fast. And definitely the teacher with Joey's high intelligence stats. In better studies, Joey's good use of his axe, his skillful control over the speed and strength of his attacks, and his strong foundation are perfect. So the teacher considers Joey a combat genius. All students began to look at the screen carefully after listening to the teacher. The teachers of each class also watched the student's presentation. The class teacher of 5 can also be seen watching Joey's performance. Looking at his face, he seemed a little worried, but a teacher with him was irritated to see Joey's performance. This teacher wonders how a strong kid ended up in class 5. The director of education also seriously identified Joey's character after seeing his performance. Joey has a strong combat mindset, but his methods are not good. He wasted his stamina in the first wave of monsters. Nightmare difficulty is known not only for the more amplified monsters, but for the sheer number of monsters in it. Even a very strong mage class can fail here due to the lack of their magic energy. Behind the education director's explanation, Joey can now be seen in a dangerous situation. Countless monsters flocked around Joey. While the education director continued to criticize Joey's steps, he also emphasized the weight of the axe he was using. By using it once or twice there is no problem, but with continued use against hundreds of opponents, he will feel the punishment of using this weapon. His stamina will run out, and he will no longer be able to hold his axe, and in the end the monsters will only defeat him. Currently, many monsters have come to attack Joey. Their numbers were so large, the students sitting outside were very worried for Joey, because they could see more waves of monsters coming and not even giving Joey a chance to rest. The education director refers to these 100 monsters, or only time will set until Joey's stamina runs out. Our hero relentlessly destroys the monster cats with his axe, and lightning brightening light, cutting them as easily as we cut the vegetables. Joey became a demon in front of these creatures, attacking relentlessly and killing them one by one. Standing in the middle of a pile of corpses of monster cats. They all lost our hero. The portal suddenly appeared in the next round, surprising our main character. Recognizing it as the entrance to the next challenge, he wasted no time and entered it. Coming out the other place, he finds himself faced with more monster cats, who are ready to fight as if they were waiting for his arrival. The scene returns outside, and one of the favorite hosts, KK, a live streamer, shows the events of that place. He was applauded by the warm welcome of the viewers on Quiken Live. KK enthusiastically updates the audience live about the ongoing match, providing comprehensive information about the events. The live stream plays on screen as KK recounts the action to eager viewers. He announced that Shining Saint Knight's live stream, the respected S-grade talent holder and the most popular student, is currently attracting viewers. Joey's quiz presents an exciting opportunity that attracts the attention of viewers across the screen. Showing the time on his phone, the host announced that Shining Saint Knight had completed the first wave of the map at Nightmare with impressive efficiency, achieving success in just 3 minutes and 17 seconds. The host, visibly excited, faced the camera and revealed his shock that it was 20 seconds faster than last year's top scorer. The host's excitement prompts concern from the cameraman, who urges him to stay away from the camera to maintain professionalism. Meanwhile, with students in the audience, discussions took place. A female student marveled at senior Jo-yee's stamina, noticing her slight fatigue despite constant slashing and swinging. Speculation appears about senior Jo-yee's constitution points, with one student remembering director Jean's advice against wasting stamina on the first wave of monsters. Students engage in lively conversation, pondering the forgetful exams. Redirected by Mr. Lee drew Jiang Feifei's attention to the exam, emphasizing director Jean's credibility. In a playful exchange, Jiang Feifei teased Mr. Lee about his apparent delight at Jo-yee's performance, prompting a mock rebuke from Mr. Lee. However, a gentle smile shows the true satisfaction of Mr. Lee on Jo-yee's success. Hopes are growing as everyone waits for Jo-yee's next move in front of the horrific monsters in the next round. Inside the map, our protagonist faces the monsters of the second round, carefully assessing their abilities using his evaluation technique. Among them are Minotaur, a level 14 silver grade, which possesses skills such as Berserk, Wild Rush, War Stomp, and Super Body. Additionally, there's the Light Cat monster, level 12 and bronze grade, equipped with light-type skills, Mastery, and Heal technique. The Fire Cat monster, level 13, adds to the heavy lineup, and is also bronze grade. It has a Fire-type skill Mastery, Fireball, and Fire Surge. Next is the level 11 Dark Cat monster, bronze grade. It has Dark-type skill Mastery and Curses. While examining all of this, Jo-yee thought. His opponent's lineup consists of regular warrior-type cats, light-type cats that act as healers, fire and dark cats that act as mages, and the silver-grade Minotaur that can do very high damage. Warrior, healer, and mages, this is the lineup of his opponents. If the first stage is sparse bandits, the second stage is a group of trained soldiers. The risk of death increased 100-fold. Suddenly all those monsters screamed, led by the Minotaur. They are ready to attack Jo-yee. The Minotaur and several other monsters rush in for a direct attack on our hero. Fire-type monsters and Dark-type monsters are ready to use their skills from afar. Before Jo-yee could move, he was caught by a curse from the Dark-type monster. Those with this black hand shape make it difficult for Jo-yee to move. But, despite being imprisoned here, Jo-yee was completely calm. However, viewers sitting outside get anxious after seeing it. Students sitting outside seeing the dangerous situation began shouting for Jo-yee's sake. Their quick start, the sheer balls of fire coming, and holding her back with curse spells, show off the monster's wonderful teamwork. Seeing the teamwork of all of them, a smile appeared on Jo-yee's face and he praised his opponent's wonderful teamwork with a smile. Seeing this, there was tension on the faces of all the people sitting outside. Some closed their eyes and some did not want to see this scene. Everyone is in tension as to what Jo-yee will do next. This monster is almost within reach of Jo-yee, but suddenly a golden light comes out of Jo-yee's body. A brilliant golden light began to emerge from Jo-yee's hands, gradually enveloping his entire body in a brilliant aura. With quick determination, Jo-yee unleashed his newfound technique. The Cross of the Sacred Light. Upon completion of the procedure, a spectacular golden cross appeared behind Jo-yee, revealing an impressive presence. The golden cross has a strong influence on the surrounding monsters, causing those nearby to cry out in agony and surrender to its divine power. The brightness of the cross's light is so intense that even distant monsters struggle to resist its luster. As those close to Jo-yee face immediate death, the Cross of the Sacred Light proves to be a terrible power. It is level 4, D-grade skill, capable of summoning divine light to form a cross behind the user, causing continuous light elemental fire damage to all nearby enemies. I can see the sheer power of skill as the once menacing monsters are defeated at the feet of Jo-yee. And with only the Minotaur left, witnessing Jo-yee's amazing display of power, the audience burst into a chaotic discussion, marveling at his prowess and the immediate defeat of low-level monsters. Director Jean, both amazed, expressed disbelief at Zhou Yi's use of a grade B practice, emphasizing its rarity and potential within the hierarchy of skill scores. From lowest to highest, skills are classified into 7 grades, with higher grades possessing more power and being more difficult to obtain. Director Jean's concern deepens as he ponders how Zhou Yi acquired a grade B skill, if one of the considerations is the limited resources provided by the government, which can only get a grade C that skill. It becomes clear to Director Jean that Zhou Yi is hiding secrets beyond what the eye can see. Inside the map, Zhou Yi stands ready to face the lone Minotaur monster, the only survivor of the onslaught in the second round. With a confident smile, Zhou Yi pointed his axe toward the Minotaur, releasing a bold challenge to get it moving. Furious at the perceived insult, the Minotaur unleashes its entire arsenal of skills. Using a berserk and superior body, the Minotaur performs a powerful war stomp attack, which strengthens its forces with the combined effect of its skills. The ground trembled as a strong stomp cut it, but Zhou Yi carefully avoided the attack. Unwilling to give Zhou Yi a break, the Minotaur quickly closed the distance through a wild rush, fueled by its invulnerable superior body. However, before the Minotaur could attack, Zhou Yi quickly tackled it with an air slash from his axe. Zhou Yi's strike strength was so strong that it forced the Minotaur to retreat at twice the rate at which it began. Taking advantage of the opportunity, Zhou Yi followed up the attack, delivering a very quick attack with a blade of pure light. Despite the Minotaur's thick skin and reinforced by the berserk and superior body, Zhou Yi understood its weakness and quickly followed another attack, using the heavy power of his axe against the formidable enemy. Zhou Yi's final attack proved too heavy for the Minotaur, despite the terrible enhancement of its superior body. With blood flowing from its mouth, the defeated monster lay on the ground as Zhou Yi approached. Sensing its impending death, the Minotaur's expression vented fear, pleading for mercy it knew would never come. Incessantly, Zhou Yi pressed his foot against the Minotaur's mouth, silencing his cries of agony as it ended. When the monster opponent's breath stops, the portal for the next round opens, signaling Zhou Yi's next challenge, to face the boss directly. In the outside world, Zhou Yi's stunning performance sends shockwaves to viewers, who marvel at his ability to defeat a 4-meter-tall Minotaur with just one strike, even under the berserk influence. Admiration and worship flocked to the crowd as many expressed their idolization of Zhou Yi, shouting declarations of love and appreciation. The host, thrilled by Zhou Yi's series of displays of excellence, let the audience know his amazing accomplishments, clearing the second round in just 50 seconds. Education Director Jean praises Zhou Yi's impeccable timing and mastery of his abilities, expressing the incredible awakening of such a student in his class just a month ago. Headmaster Luo joined the celebration, recognizing the rise of a new elite from their academy with pride and laughter, recognizing the fruits of their institution. The headmaster's joy has its roots in the history of the Second Academy, where its top performer has only taken 721 places in the district since its founding. With the help of Zhou Yi's potential, perhaps the academy will be elevated to unprecedented heights. However, concerns arise from Zhou Yi, who without rest enters the boss's room. That prompted the headmaster and director of education to examine the situation with apprehension. Observing Zhou Yi's entry into the boss's room, the disillusionment of the director of education increased, fearing that Zhou Yi's lack of preparation might cause him great loss. Despite the director's dismay, the headmaster advises patience and believing that Zhou Yi probably has strategic reasons for his actions. In Sukang's densely populated district, where talent is on the rise, aspiring individuals battle it out for the top 100 positions by choosing a solo clear of nightmare difficulty, a testament to intense competition within region. Under the same difficulty, to be a top performer, must pass in the shortest time. Inside the boss's room, Zhou Yi confronts the enraged Minotaur King, whose lofty presence vents anger at the intrusion of the people in its jurisdiction. The monster's gruesome stats were quickly assessed, with Zhou Yi identifying it as the level 16 gold grade Minotaur King. Before Zhou Yi could do some research, the Minotaur King launched a fierce attack, causing chaos around as the battlefield became a chaotic arena of conflict. In the chaos of the Minotaur King's attack, Joyi quickly activates each of his buffs, including Blessing of Dawn, Gift of Courage, Gift of God, and Gift of Protection, maximizing his defensive and offensive abilities. As the Minotaur King searches for Joyi in the midst of chaos, Joyi taunts, calling the intended as a small cow. Since all his buffs had been activated, Joyi displayed the initial form of Saint Knight. His wonderful presence draws attention. Angry at Joyi's transformation, the Minotaur King shakes his teeth in anger, his eyes red with anger. Without hesitation, Joyi launched his attack against the Minotaur King, further fueling the creature's anger. As Joyi prepared with his weapon, using full force, Joyi unleashed an attack with his axe against the Minotaur King. However, the Minotaur King quickly intercepted the attack with his hand, showing great resilience against Joyi's onslaught. Despite the full force in his strikes, Joyi realized that even a fully buff axe was unable to penetrate the flesh of the Minotaur King. The effort to maintain his transformed form drains Joyi's energy, leaving him exhausted. However, his persistence paid off heavily as he inflicted a small wound on the Minotaur King's palm, causing a painful cry from the creature. Remembering the battle, the Minotaur King stepped up his attacks, aiming to quickly finish off Joyi and end the confrontation. Avoiding the relentless attack of the Minotaur King, Joyi finds himself repulsed by the force of the creature's attacks. Every Minotaur King strike wreaks havoc, enveloping the area with dust and nape. The Minotaur King suddenly appeared faster, delivering a devastating blow straight into Joyi's stomach, causing him to fall on several pillars and eventually crash into a wall. Although Joyi recognizes the protective capabilities of his Saint armor, he remains unstoppable from the damage caused. He was looking forward to this exchange of punches, and quickly retaliated by unleashing his next move. The Spear of Victory, Divine Light Spears descended from the sky, ready to counterattack the Minotaur King with terrible force. This step Spear of Victory by Joyi is level 3 grade C technique. With this discarding, you can throw a spear made of condensed divine light. The enemy that hits it will receive high damage. Around Joyi, spears made of divine light came to attack the Minotaur. The Minotaur just watched it standing below. And after a while, all the spears began to rush to hit the Minotaur King. The Minotaur King began to destroy all spears made of divine light by attacking it. He knew that even if an attack hit him, another attack would also take advantage of it and hit him. So he doesn't let even one attack come to him. Joyi acknowledges that none of his attacks reach the Minotaur King to this day, which indicates the creature's efficiency in strength and constitution. A futile attempt to pass the Minotaur King is recognized by a strong force. Joyi chose to fight this monster in the fastest way. He understands that if he waits for the Minotaur King to get tired, it will only cause him to run out of valuable time, and hinder his chances of getting the highest position in the exam. Believing that the examiners would not design a scenario with no other potential means of defeating the enemy, Joyi continued his attack despite the invisible means. He maintains his determination, confident that alternative strategies can emerge on their own. As the confrontation continued, Joyi saw some weaknesses in the Minotaur King's defense. Interestingly, he observed the creature's speed decrease as they exchanged attacks. Recognizing the opportunity to exploit this weakness, Joyi intensified the speed and frequency of his attacks, targeting the Minotaur King's knees in a concerted effort to unbalance the formidable opponent. As Joyi continues the fierce battle, his system issues a warning about the low state of his mana, urging him to fill it again immediately. Despite the warning, Joyi has ignored it for now, focusing instead on exploiting the weaknesses he identified with the Minotaur King. It is recognized that the nature and resistance of the creature are these weaknesses. Joyi exploits these weaknesses by launching incessant attacks. Continuing to attack the Minotaur King, Joyi succeeded in bringing the heavy creature to his knees. Despite its excellent endurance and high life points, the Minotaur King proves to be more prone to injury and negative effects when subjected to Joey's fierce attacks. Realizing that this was his decisive moment, Joey realized that he must demonstrate multiple high-damage skills one after the other to favor him in the course of battle. As Joey's attacks relentlessly lash the Minotaur King, the battlefield explodes in golden blasts accompanied by the creature's scathing scream. However, the effort to carry out such powerful attacks quickly depleted Joey's mana reserves, bringing him closer to exhaustion. Knowing that he had to finish the match quickly, Joey considered his options for a final, decisive attack. Thinking about the risks and consequences, he understands that ineffective execution of the last attack can result in failure to test due to depleted mana reserves. With determination and decision, he drew his sword and launched a powerful attack against the Minotaur King, knowing that this moment would determine the outcome of the battle and his success in the exam. With the last of his strength, Joey delivered a final, decisive slash, splitting the Minotaur King's body in two. As the monstrous creature lost its life, Joey achieved victory, completing the nightmare difficulty of the deep dark forest dungeon. A notification immediately appeared congratulating him on his success and informing him of his completion time, 9 minutes and 24 seconds, at which point the entrance examination ended. After a grueling battle, our hero is exhausted, but his exhaustion is quickly replaced by surprise when another notification appears in front of him. The message declared his clearance as SSS Outstanding Rating. And congratulations to him for claiming first place for clearing the map. Because of this unexpected success, he wonders if he will indeed become the top performer of Sukong District. Filled with joy at his newfound record, our hero leaps for joy, celebrating his victory. In the midst of joy, he remembers his turbulent past years of his transmigration, his mother's death, his sister's illness, and the overwhelming burden of debt and medical expenses. Despite the intense pressure, he remained steadfast, refusing to give in to poverty. Even then, he made himself focus on improving his fighting skills and nurturing his unwavering fighting spirit, recognizing that improvement was within his control. Recalling the pivotal moment when he first acquired the system, our hero acknowledges its role in giving him a second chance at life. However, he remains steadfast in his belief that destiny is shaped by his own actions. Possessed of unwavering determination, she vows to work harder than others, and sees every opportunity that comes her way. Reflecting on his unyielding determination, he reaffirms the determination of his heart, resolute and unwavering. When it was all over, a portal appeared. With grit and determination, our hero steps into the portal, ready to face whatever challenges await him in the real world. And now it's time for the reward. Joey received 5,212 experience points, 20 free points and 20 skill points. His level rise 3 times in a row, and Joey is now at level 13. The following rewards are equipments and items such as Forest Belt, Forest Ring, Wind Strawberries and Minotaur King's Card. The Forest Belt requires level 10 and above for use, and it increases life point, stamina and mana recovery, with an additional 10 in the Constitution and 7 in Strength. The Forest Ring also provides additional recovery to life point, stamina, and mana. It also requires level 10 and above and gives an extra 8 to Agility and 10 to Intelligence. Wind Strawberries are a mana recovery item, and ultimately the Minotaur King's Card. It is a gold rate item and an enchantment material that provides an additional 20 in Strength. When Joey came out of the portal, he was met with shouts from the audience. Some cry out words of worship, expressing their love for him, while others praise him as a god, amazed at his achievements. Amid the screams, Joey was shocked, unable to understand the praises being poured out on him. The headmaster and the director of education approached him, and I could see the width of their smiles. At this time, Joey seems to have become an actor, due to the number of cameras and media taking pictures of him. The headmaster praises Joey for soloing the nightmare difficulty in just 10 minutes, an unprecedented feat in Second Academy history. Based on years of experience, the headmaster predicts a bright future for Joey, suggesting his potential to take the top spot of Sukong District. The headmaster added that Joey's future was bright, or he became humble and thanked the headmaster. However, amid the excitement, a car suddenly arrived that surprised the students with its presence. They were amazed at its capabilities, which loved it like a magic item capable of flying. The prestigious S400, a symbol of prosperity worth a house within the capital. Education Director Joey is invited to the car, informing him that it will be good at least 3 days before the results are released, promising to notify him immediately. Grateful for the opportunity, Joey expressed his gratitude to Director Jean. The headmaster, full of happiness, advises Joey to rest and just wait for the good news to come. After this, the story moves inside the hospital where Joey can be seen visiting his sister. After their last conversation with Secretary Zhao Wenbing, he quickly fulfilled his promise. Jo Yun has been transferred to the hospital's deluxe suite with professional medical teams monitoring his condition 24 hours a day. Joey came here to see his sister. He entered the elevator where the nurse recognized him as Jo Yun's older brother and accepted him. They had a small talk about his sister's condition and her recent examination. The nurse congratulated Joey on his good performance because he heard the good news about it. As the elevator went up, the temperature gradually cooled. The nurse couldn't understand why it was so cold here. It occurred to her that the temperature of the air conditioner might have been lowered too much. Although our hero noticed something, because it was so cold, ice was forming around the elevator. And as soon as the elevator reached the 26th floor, Joey and the nurse were surprised to see the view from that floor. The nurse wondered what was going on here, because at this time the 26th floor was completely frozen. There was ice everywhere and the doctors there were also frozen. Seeing such a situation there, Joey became worried about his sister and started running inside. The nurse tried to stop Joey but ignored him because he was more worried about his sister. When the nurse slightly pulled her hand out of the elevator, it was also quickly covered with ice like other nurses and doctors who were there. Joey broke the freezing door with his axe and called his sister's name. But he was again surprised to see the view inside. Joey saw an ice dragon there. This ice dragon is in the form of a spirit that comes out of his sister's body. At this moment, the whole room was covered in ice and his sister was screaming in pain. A healer doctor nearby is trying to heal him. This ice dragon coming from her sister's body is disappearing, and this is the cause of freezing the entire 26 floors. Seeing that spiritual dragon, Joey could not control himself. Seeing his sister writhing in pain, he prepared to attack the dragon. He wrapped himself in a fiery aura to counter the very low temperature of the room. He was ready to attack with the burning light in his hands. However, before Joey could attack, a healer named Ching stopped him. Joey did the same, and closed his palm and lost the burning magic in his palm. Ching heals Joey's sister in this room, and she is still safe thanks to her healing power, but both her hands and feet are half frozen. Joey approached Cheng and looked at her questioningly. He is asked about what is going on here, and why he stops him from attacking. Cheng, still preoccupied with his healing, replied, "If they recklessly attacked, Zhou Yun's heart might break." Adding to Joey's questions, is why there is a dragon here. Cheng explains that Zhou Yun's cold disease suddenly appears and loses control, where everything in it is suddenly covered with ice. And as he sees it, this is the situation now, and his cold disease is this dragon. At this moment, the healer can be seen struggling to help his sister. He's been trying to get Zhou Yun back in control for a while, but it doesn't seem like he'll last long and he's running out of energy. For now, all Qing could do was stop this ice dragon from going out to another floor, and he ordered Joey to hurry to run away from it while he was still in control of the situation. After listening to him, Joey tearfully asked what would happen to Zhou Yun. Qing then failed to answer directly. Our hero was just told that he is not a high-level priest, and this is all he can do with his current strength. This answer also informs our hero that his sister's life will not last long. Joey understands all of them, he calms down and reveals that he understands the whole situation. Joey looked up, and for the second time glared at the ice dragon. He looked down at his sister and developed a new determination that would do anything to keep his sister alive. Joey released his power, and wrapped his body in an aura and glazed his eyes, as he released his system. Due to his recent level up from the examination, he had free skill points, and he put all of them in his slow recovery. Joey stepped forward with the aim of helping his sister with his own strength. By using all his free skill points, his level 4 slow recovery has increased towards level 10 enhanced slow regeneration, which provides additional regeneration to the target's health and mana. Using the newly found strength of his level 10 enhanced slow regeneration, he used it without hesitation on his sister. Joey is now enveloped in a golden aura, and behind him emerges a sacred symbol from his power. As soon as Joey used it, Qing's frozen hand and foot broke, and she felt a relief heat from her body, and regained her strength and mana. Qing's eyes widened as she experienced it directly, that she was amazed at the healing power of Saint Knight. He compared it to his strength, where his ability to heal was even stronger than a level 23 priest like him. On the other hand, Joey was busy healing his sister with all his might. The ice slowly melted from her sister's body, with the help of his sacred light ability. While Joey was busy healing his sister, he gave orders to Qing. He will take care of it and orders Qing to quickly go to Secretary Zhao and ask him for help. Say rushed to send a high-level priest right now, but Qing replied that there is no high-level priest vacancy at the moment and that the appointment given to his brother from Secretary Zhao is next week. And even if they get to it, his sister will definitely not last long. But Joey is determined to save his sister and tells her again that all he has to do is tell Secretary Zhao that if he can send a high-level priest now, he will be indebted to him, and he promises that he will do the something he wants no matter what it is and will not refuse. With Qing remaining silent, he could see in Joey's eyes that he was really serious and that he was ready to give everything for his sister. He understood this fight of Joey, so he hurried to leave. Run out of the room and leave Joey alone to help his sister. Inside the room, our hero is busy ensuring his sister's safety. The sudden cold is every night's test that Jo-Yun has been feeling for the past year. Under the grip of the cold aura, he experiences severe pain throughout his body. Our hero recognizes that this cold has been intensifying lately. But he didn't expect it to get worse and affect the outside world. As time passed, the influence of Jo-Yun's cold disease grew stronger, gradually enveloping the building in freezing temperatures as darkness descended. Inside the room, our hero can be seen being gradually overcome by the ice dragon. A delicate frost formed on his body, indicating the weakening of his power. Despite her efforts to help her sister with enhanced slow regeneration, she remains vulnerable. The spiritual ice dragon is dedicated only to him, draining his energy with each passing moment. However, unexpectedly, a green ball of energy emerges and attacks the dragon, which delivers relentless attacks that cause the dragon to suffer. And Jo-Yun was tortured in the process. When Joey saw this, he begged his colleague to stop and not touch his sister. But her crying was ignored, instead pointing the green ball at the energy towards her. It hit his body and it flew away from the ice dragon and fell a distance away. The culprit in this attack is a sexy priest. Apparently this is the high-level priest he is waiting for to help his sister. The sexy priest raised his hand and beckoned the ice dragon to come to him. This time, he will fight her again. The ice dragon quickly attacked and bit its challenge. The sexy priest also prepared in the process and took out a green aura and put his weapon in position. As the ice dragon approached the sexy priest, he used his weapon as a bat. The ice dragon hit its face hard with an associated energy green, fighting the ice dragon. As the ice dragon weakened from the sexy priest's final attack, it again prepared incantation, apparently forming a green incantation seal. She will not allow the ice dragon to sow more terror and he will end it quickly. Suddenly, the incantation seal he developed enveloped the body of the ice dragon, and this green seal weakens the power of the ice dragon. Soon the sexy priest successfully tamed the disappearing ice dragon. The green incantation spell prevents the dragon spirit from moving and closes its mouth. The sexy priest controls his incantation to return the spirit of the ice dragon back to Jo Yun's body. When the spirit of the ice dragon was in the exact spot, the sexy priest jumped up and hit the dragon with his weapon. In this way, the dragon was forced to return inside Jo Yun's body, lying struggling with the ice dragon's struggle. As soon as the dragon entered Jo Yun's body, his condition became normal again, and Joey was also happy to see that he had finally recovered. The high sexy priest then uses his power to melt the ice again across the floor. The high sexy priest then looks at Joey and says that maybe he is Joey, he has heard a lot about her. After arranging everything, the high priest introduced himself as Choi Lina, from Qingyun City, and he was a level 35 secondary awakened priest. Hearing this, Joey said he was happy to meet her. High priest then said that Director Zhan specifically asked him to treat his sister earlier. However, something else was running through Miss Choi Lina's mind about Joey. That if Director Zhan hadn't told him that this man had a chance to win first place, he wouldn't have broken the rules. But, seeing Joey fighting the cold for a long time, he realized that Director Zhan wasn't lying to him. After that, Joey asked the high sexy priest about his sister's illness and also asked if it could be cured or not. Then the high sexy priest answered her, the cold energy that seeped in and turned into a form was a sign of the awakening of her bloodline. Upon hearing this, our hero was surprised and only 2 words came out of his mouth: bloodline awakening. Then the high priest told him about the awakening in the bloodline. When the Eternal game first appeared, many players chose their characters to be different races such as elves, giants, demons, and more. When the game merged with reality, those players received the traits of those bloodlines. People with elven bloodline have greener eyes and longer ears. People with the giant bloodline can grow to a height of 3 to 4 meters. For the past 200 years, those players have married people. And then they gradually lost their blood in each generation. Those characteristics and powers gradually disappeared, except for a special awakening condition in their bloodline. The high priest also tells our hero that the awakening of the bloodline can bring misfortune as well as fate. A successful awakening means that they can control the power of other races, and their level and learning ability will also be multiplied. But if they fail, they can become paralyzed or die suddenly. After saying all this, a high priest tells our hero some important things about his sister's awakening. If he was not mistaken, perhaps his sister had awakened a rare freezing bloodline. And if Jo Yun wanted to advance this extraordinary bloodline, he would have to change his constitution. So the high priest told our hero about a treasure item called the freezing lotus that can change a person's constitution. However, the amount he mentioned was a very rare treasure, as the last time the treasure appeared was at an auction 30 years ago, which was bought by an unknown person for 1,300 million. After that, while leaving here, the high priest said some last things about Jo Yun to our hero. That can no longer prevent the release of his bloodline, and this cold will be completely blown away within 3 months. And also said about the last auction, he had an auction to use a great sealing skill and completely shut down his sister's bloodline. The high priest asked him to call her, once he had decided what his decision would be. But this move had a huge cost. Jo Yun would not be able to level up in the future once his bloodline was sealed. Hearing all this, our hero suddenly became sad and sat in the room looking sadly at his sister. At this time his attention was on the phone, but his mind wandered to his sister's future. 5 days later we see Joey doing his training and finishing some of his tasks for his daily mission, like squatting, push-ups, sit-ups and weapon swinging. Upon completing his daily mission, the system prompts him to choose for his desired reward. Our hero chooses stat points for his reward. Usually at the end of his daily mission, he always gets stat points. Constitution and intelligence are important for a Saint Knight, but he can't ignore other stats either. So he uses the 2-3-3-2 method to distribute his points among the 4 stats. Only through balanced development can he reduce his weaknesses. However, then another notification came into the system. This notification is from the examination result. Our hero got first place in the Sukang district exam and the reward will be given according to his result. As soon as this notification arrives, our hero starts getting rewards one after another. Our hero gets many rewards such as S-grade Divine Item Resurrection Cross, Divine Skill God Hand, One-Time Mystery Skills, Rare Skill Punishment of Light Grade A. Our hero also receives 30 free stat points and 30 skill points. Since our hero is in the lead, his performances are shown in every news. Where the news anchor called Joey as the black horse that came from Zhongli City. It was shown throughout the news that he entered the hardest difficulty, which was only at his very low level of level 10, and on top of it he was alone. News and headlines were flooded about Joey and his magnificent performance. After the examination result was released, the education director held a press conference and was surrounded by the media. The education director speaks some good things about Joey. He already knows that Joey will be successful ever since he awakened the Saint Night class. So, he advised the city government to increase their investment in Joey because he sees people with potential. There are people watching this news talking because they are confused by our hero's class awakening. They couldn't believe that the first place winner was a Saint Knight because it was referred to as a support class. They were giving their own opinion on whether Joey had used a trick because it seemed so impossible to believe that a level 10 in support class could solo clear within the Nightmare Realm. In addition to that, it was a record-breaking time in clearing the realm. But one showed he had a video recording of what happened inside, where they were all amazed at the strength shown by our hero. Meanwhile, an unidentified individual with crimson hair with a robot can be seen watching the same news about Joey's performance. This individual was not happy with the news as Joey got a clearing time record of 9 minutes 24 seconds, where our hero was 20 seconds faster than him. Acknowledging Joey's good performance, he didn't expect anyone stronger than him this year. It brought out a deceptive smile, showing his interest in Joey mixed with anger at getting the honor that should have been his. This individual's body is enveloped in a burning aura. This man seems like a fire-type user. The fiery aura he exits is turned to the robot next to him. A small explosion occurs in his bedroom. It is a threat to our hero. This man reveals that Joey was walking with death because he got his anger. After that, the story shifts to our hero who is currently walking in the park and he sees some messages on his phone, where there are some messages for him. The Zhongli government transferred 5 million to his account. In the second message, the city government of Zhongli again transferred 2 million to his account. He took the phone and found out that Secretary Zhao was on the other line. Our hero asks if there is a problem because of his sudden call. But his calling only informs him about certain things. First, Secretary Zhao congratulated him on his good performance and the city government allocated 5 million money and a luxurious mansion. Secretary Zhao asked if he could think of a place for his mansion or if they would choose for them. Our hero thought, it seems that the city government has also received the news about him taking first place in the examination. If you consider all the things the city government gives him, this seems to be the case. In his answer to Secretary Zhao, Joey gave them the decision about the area of his mansion. And for the next issue, Secretary Zhao announced the upcoming recruitment teachers from the top 3 universities who are on their way to him. Where Secretary asked if Joey wanted him to send a car for him. But Joey rejected him because it seemed that the 3 teachers from the top 3 universities were here. In front of him is a man who gives a business card to our hero. He introduced himself as a recruitment teacher from Rongyang University. But this only confused Joey because Rongyang University is not among the top 3. If you remember, this is the same university that bullied our hero and called Joey arrogant. But suddenly an individual intervened and joined their matter, saying that the recruitment teacher who bullied our hero was punished for being ignorant of our hero's ability. This individual who entered them was riding in a helicopter. But the current recruitment teacher today fought for Rongyang University and informed that Zhao Tianfu had been fired. And suddenly he offered his offer to encourage Zhou Yi to enter Rongyang University and give him 4 million. But the man in the helicopter cut his speech, jumped down and said that Mudo University would give a doubling offer of what Rongyang University was giving. And he announced to everyone that they have left because Mudo University will get our hero. But at that moment, a beautiful woman suddenly appeared behind our hero. He was shocked because he didn't realize that there was someone behind him. This beautiful woman announced that she was going to take our hero, and so the beautiful woman literally took him, and suddenly they flew into the air. This beautiful woman seems to have the bloodline of an angel based on her beautiful white wings. She touched our hero below his lips. With obscene intentions, she whispered to Joey that Qingjing University possessed so many cultivation resources. And as her offer, for 4 years at Qingjing University he would be given grade A cultivation resources every year. But then they bump into a magic barrier, causing them to stop there. The creator of this magic barrier was a teacher from another university, this one from Sukong University. And this instructor said that the resources, history and themes offered by others can also be provided by Sukong University. And at the same moment Sukong teacher threatened Qingjing University to put down our hero or she will regret it. Where the person from Mudu University interjects again that even if she kidnaps our protagonist, he will not be able to force him into the university of his choice. And so it quickly inserted the offer of Mudo University. If our hero enters, he will be given grade A cultivation resources and additional full-set gold grade equipment every year. Where Qingjing University annoyed him because it beat his offer. And so they went down slowly. The beautiful woman apologized to our hero. She explained that she did not intend to kidnap but wanted to have an intimate conversation from him. And our hero was asked to give his decision on which university he will enter. Our hero has become quiet, deep in thought, or his future depends on his decision. But the recruitment teacher from Sukong University has not yet been given the opportunity to make his good offer. The sexy recruitment teacher from Sukong came over and introduced herself as Su Meyer. He gave a small speech. Sukong University values absolute strength. If he enters their school, he can either get an earth rank or a heavens rank. Forget about grade A resources because within Sukong University he can still get grade S resources. And on top of that, Sukong University has repeatedly won first place for 4 years in the freshman exchange contest. With this result, she is proud of Sukong University's dedication to cultivating their students. The two teachers were not amused by what seemed like an insult, and they questioned Su Meyer's arrogance after only winning a few times in a small competition. But as Su Meyer's defense, they cannot deny Su Kang's victory in that competition. Where the teacher from Mudo University just grabbed his head. Su Meyer added for the Qingjing teacher that they should make sure that each of their students and teachers work hard. While these three argue, our hero also has his own battle to face. This is his fight for his future, thinking that the 3 universities both give him a bright future. But if he wants to get the highest strength, the university that suits for him is. And suddenly our hero spoke in front of 3 powerful recruitment teachers. He already had a choice, and upon hearing that line, their eyes widened, surprising our hero's decision. The university he chose was Sukong University, which Su Meyer was very pleased with our hero's good decision. And without wasting time, Su Meyer quickly released the Sukong special recruitment contract. This is a huge scroll where everything he will receive upon entering the university is also stated here. Joey only needs to read and sign it and there will be no more problems. The 2 teachers in the back were left jealous because of our hero's decision. They vented their frustration as Sukong won again. But the charming woman advised Joey that if he didn't like Sukong University, Qingjing University will remain open for him. But Sue Meyer only gave these two a bad look. While our hero is amazed at the staffless casting shown by Sue Meyer because only high-level mages can do it. Before signing this contract, our hero is a bit nervous and asks Sue Meyer about her level. Sue Meyer proudly tells our hero that she is a level 42 second awakening mage. Joey was a bit surprised after hearing this because Sue Meyer didn't look like she was 30 years old and she was at this level. He replied that the world is very big and if he gets into Sukong University, he will find even younger and stronger individuals. Upon hearing the news, our hero's silence was limitless and he eagerly began signing the contract. As he signed, thoughts ran through his mind from his system. Thanks to this, his peers could not match him. Entering Sukong, he expected heavy opponents and quickly raised his strength. Sue Meyer observes her enthusiasm with pleasure, recognizing the fiery determination burning within her. With the signing of the contract became clear as a sign that the development of the contract from Joey and Sukong University was successful. Sue Meyer gives our hero a week to prepare for departure. Surprised by the early start of Sukang's semester, our protagonist comments here. As they parted ways, Sue Meyer said goodbye, emphasizing the importance of special recruits giving higher levels to cultivating them and giving them a chance to grow stronger faster. For the success of the National Freshman Exchange Contest. A week later, what he said came true. The secretary took our hero and his sister to their new mansion. Jo Yun enjoys the luxury of their new home, and our hero shares his happiness. The secretary explained the layout of the mansion. There are 3 floors, with a special training room on the 2nd floor and a spacious balcony and recreation area on the 3rd floor. With almost 1,000 square meters of space, it is a generous gift from the city government. Before leaving, our hero stops the secretary and asks about Jo Yun's condition, expressing concern for his well-being despite Sister Ching's presence by his side. Before leaving, our hero entrusts Jo Yun's care to the secretary, who graciously accepts the responsibility. Joey is leaving, and Sue Meyer arrives to pick him up. As they prepare to leave, our hero advises his sister one last time. He emphasized the importance of taking medicines from Priestess Choi every week, receiving daily checkups from Sister Ching, and following the secretary's instructions for school arrangements. In a funny scene, Jo Yun pretends to ignore his brother's instructions, prompting him to playfully pull his cheeks. In the end, he assures her that he understands everything. Joey said goodbye to his sister and sat in the car. Sue Meyer, the driver, asked if this was her first time traveling by long distance. While our hero is still focused on his sister, he responds affirmatively. As the car sped up, it suddenly entered a teleportation array, taking them to Anjing University City. The bustling platform is full of people and vehicles emerging from teleportation arrays. Our hero is shocked to see everyone freely using the teleportation array. He knows that it is often necessary to send a request to the city government to use the miniature teleportation magic array. However, the scene in front of him defies this expectation, leaving him confused and intrigued. Sue Meyer then gets out of the car and tells Joey that Sukong University is working in the military. So they made a large-scale teleportation array near the school. It was safe and convenient. And by this time, our hero had arrived at Sukong University. Sue Meyer announced their arrival here, and at this moment, our hero's eyes fell on the beautiful view of the place. This is Sukong University. In front of the huge gate of Sukong University, there are every kind of creature. Whether it's a giant, a big wolf, or any kind of creature, they all go through there to get in. Sukong University is huge. It is also located in the mountains that show the beauty of Sukong University.